Yeah, we good. Okay. Brakatay How.
Brakatay How.
Brakatay How Shai.
Brakatay How Shai.
Brakatay How.
Brakatay How.
Brakatay How Shai.
Brakatay How Shai.
Brakatay How.
Brakatay How.
Brakatay How Shai.
Brakatay How Shai.
Kahalayim La. Yahweh. Bahasham. Yahweh Shai. Bahasham. Racha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles. So like your salutation, brothers doing this thing in sincerity and truth and with charity. All right. And known as the hope for elect. And just gonna happen to it, man, because let me grab this precept real quick. This Sirach, once this advertisement goes off for me looking at a Bible app, this is crazy. This Sirach 13:26. A cheerful countenance is a token of a heart that is in prosperity, and the finding out of parables is a wearisome labor of the mind. All right. So contrary to what some may believe, man, getting into this understanding, all right, looking up words, teaching this word, and that's actually can be a weary thing on the mind, man. It's a labor. All right. It said that we're servants to wisdom. This is truly a labor. All right. And the way that this flesh is set up is contrary to the spirit. And it's a labor to be in the spirit. And that's the thing, man. You got to fight to be in the spirit, man. You got to, like the brother Matthias put when speaking of it, you got to will it,
Yeah, I was looking. Yep. It's Hosea 10:12. Because a brother likened it to what? A wearisome labor, man. And in the book of Sirach, it says, come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, man. So when you come into this thing, man, it's nothing but pure labor, man. This is Hosea 10:12. It says, sow to yourselves in righteousness, reap in mercy, break up your fallow ground, for it is time to seek the Lord till he come and rain righteousness upon you. And it says, break up your fallow ground. Now, when you look at husbandry, which the Lord likened his truth unto that, man. When you look at husbandry, you got to break up that hard, dry dirt, man. So you can get that moist, soft, nutritious dirt that's underneath, So you got to break up that madness and sow to yourself seeds of those righteousness, And that's a part of the labor, man. It's times where you don't feel like going out there and doing that work, so to speak, man. You don't feel like laboring through these precepts. You don't feel like going and reading. You don't feel like putting out these lessons, man. But it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. It shows the strength of Yahweh Shai within us when we will ourselves to do those things, man. Because it's not of us, it's all of the spirit that's within us,
This is Ecclesiastes 12:12. And further, by these, my son, be admonished. Of making many books, there is no end. And much study is a weariness of the flesh. And that's ultimately what it told us, that the flesh want to do what, man? Chill, have a good time, do whatever, man. All right, the flesh want to do anything but be in the spirit, man. It's just set up that way. This is, you got something?
Yeah. What Yahweh Shai said, this is Matthew 26:41. It says, watch and pray. It's like it, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. So certain times, man, hey, man, you don't feel like doing nothing, man. The spirit is willing, you want to do it, but the flesh is weak. And that goes back to the condition of the battle, man. That goes back to the flesh warring against the spirit and the spirit warring against the flesh.
I got it right here. This is Galatians 5:17. Well, I got one of them. Salakia. It's Galatians 5:17. I'm going to start at 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. So the flesh, it's like you want to do his own thing, man. All right, you want to, the flesh, whatever the fuck your desires is. Everybody desires different, man. And the spirit wants to do what? Spiritual things, man. And it takes us to have that mindset to, like I said, walk in the spirit. Think upon the spirit, man. Meditate upon his word, so we can fulfill as much of the spirit as possible, man. So when the Lord is actually putting it on us to do the video, we do it. We ain't sitting there and we just completely push it off, man. The Lord wants us to get that reading in. When the Lord set it up, we own it, man, because we already got our mind harping on the Spirit. You know? Watching, doing videos on the Watchman reports, man. That's a labor, man. Doing certain research so you can understand certain things, to get into words. That's a labor. But it all also comes apart into desire too, man. You know, you got to desire this wisdom. Because you got to walk in the Spirit. You got to want it. It said the Spirit is willing. So that means in your mind, you want it. And you know, and you would do that, man. But yeah, of course, you know, through the Spirit to set up. This truth is a labor. So this is exhortation to brothers, man, that's battling that. All right? Because this truth is a labor, man. You got to battle demons. All right? You got to fight to do all type of stuff, man. Hey, but guess what? All right? Hey, everybody's going through it, man. Everybody's fucking battling to do what's required of us. And then the extra that comes on it for just the temptations. It's all a battle. It's all a weariness. So what, man? Pray to the Lord and then fight.
This is 2 Esdras 7:57. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. So this is the condition of the battle, man. That's a part of the battle that we got to wage against this flesh. You know, the scriptures speak about what in Timothy, to him that calleth thee to be a soldier.
Kind. No man entangle himself with the
right. That he may please him who have called him to be a soldier, man. You know, so that's a part of the hardness. That's a part of the battle. That's a part of the what we had entered into, man. You know, this is Romans 5. It's like Romans 7, and I'm gonna start at 18. It says, "For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. For to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good, I find not." So it's what the Spirit is willing, you know. And I looked up that word willing in Matthew 26:41, and it says ready, willing. It says predisposed, you know. So the Spirit is ready to do these things, man. But the flesh, it warred against the Spirit, man. It says, but how to perform that which is good, I find not. For the good that I would, I do not. But the evil which I would not, that I do. So you might find yourself knowing that you got to read. You might find yourself knowing, man, I ain't doing lesson today, man. I got to get on it, you know. And your flesh, you just, you know, find yourself still sitting around, man. You know, it says, now if I do that I would not, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. I find then a law that when I would do good, evil is present with me. For I delight in the law of the Most High after the inward man. But I see another law in my members, warring against the law of my mind, and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin, which is in my members. O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? I thank the Most High through Yahushua our Lord. So then with the mind, I myself serve the law of the Most High, but with the flesh, the law of sin. It ain't saying you just go out and willfully sin, you know. It's saying what, man? We in these chains of darkness, man. You know, a just man falls 7 times, but he picketh up himself again, man. You know, so we gonna fall short, you know, in certain areas, man. Why? Because we in this flesh. But it says with the law of the mind, I serve Yahweh Ba'Sham Yahushai. You know, so you got to understand how wretched you are, and for the sins that you've already committed. So what? That wills you to continue to do more, man. You know, like it speaks about in 1 John the 3rd chapter. It speaks about the hope, what manner of love the Most High gave unto us, that we should be called the sons of the Most High, man. You know, and the only way we're going to be called friends and sons of the Most High is if what? We be obedient to what he said. So we got to will ourselves to do these things, man. You know.
This is 1 Corinthians 9 and 24. Know ye not that they was running in the race, run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that you may obtain. So it's a you know, not a competition like we're competing, but just how it describes it. It says you're running a race, man. So you're fighting, man. You're not just, this ain't something that's necessarily going to be simple or easy, man. I mean, it's simple enough, you know, it's easy enough, but it's not fucking just fucking plain, man. It's a fight. It's a hard fucking battle, man. All right, and it takes you to be having a willing spirit to want to endure this thing, man. All right, fearing, knowing that you're wretched. All right, being afraid that the Lord is going to destroy the wicked of this place, so you don't want to slip back into wickedness, man. That motivates you, man. Having that type of spirit, man. Whatever you got to do, like remember how I just say it in sometimes for the spirit like the wind, I had to trick my flesh to stay. Whatever you got to have in your spirit, so you can do what's right, knowing what's right and wanting to do it, and knowing the flesh. All right, that's the type of the battle we're in, man. All right, 1 Peter 5, in fact, I gotta get it. It's 1 Peter 5 and 8, man. Be sober. I'm starting 7. Casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. So that's our hope. That's our care. Hey, and how about Shem Yahushua? We get everything over to him, hoping for the salvation. Be sober. Be vigilant. Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. All right? So we fear getting caught up by Satan and getting back into the world, man. That's what Yahushua told the disciples when they were asleep. He said, could you not watch with me for 1 hour? All right? We don't want to fucking fall back to sleep and get caught up, man. He told them, go ahead and watch and pray. So that's what we do, man. We do what's required of us, watching. We fight to do it, and we pray to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. He keep us doing it. He keep us from falling to temptation. You read that, right? That's 2 different ones. Did you say the same?
Oh yeah. Watch and pray.
Yeah.
That he falling out. Yep. The same one.
So hey, so you did
Mm-hmm.
So right, man. That's we cast our cares upon the Lord. We pray that he keep us going, and we fucking fight, man. All right, with fear. All right, and hope in the Lord that we don't slip back, because Satan is out there. We run this fucking race. That's what we got to do. It's a race. It get tired, but you got to have that mental fortitude and that spirit. Like, I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna do this. You know, I'm gonna fucking fight. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging, damn, I don't fucking feel like. Well, if it's one spirit, you got a spirit like you don't feel like doing it, like you really just don't want to do it. That's different. But when the flesh is like, I don't feel like doing it, but the spirit like, I'm mental, I want to do it, but fuck, you know, that's one thing, man. You acknowledge it and you fight for it, man. Keep pushing. Go ahead. You got something?
Yeah, this is no.
I had that 1 Corinthians 9. I was gonna go back to that, but you got something. Okay, this is back in 1 Corinthians 9 and 25. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. That word temperate goes to having self-control. You know, just for the simple breakdown of, you know, it means self-control. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we are incorruptible. All right, because he said the day is going into the games. You know, the Olympics. You know, the amount of dedication that people put into their craft and their sport. All right, they will cut off certain pleasures of the flesh, and that's what we're doing spiritually, man. We cutting off certain things. We cutting off our flesh, period, man. Now we got certain liberties within this thing, but ultimately, hey, we got to labor. Our mind is given over to this word. We're required to meditate upon this day and night. This is what we do, man. And the flesh is weak. All right, that's wearisome to the flesh at times, man. But when those modes kick in, you have your low modes. You know, when it seems like it's just a light drizzle instead of a pouring rain, and you got to strive and fight through that, man. You know, you're still meditating. You know, fighting. Hell, think about the fact you feel like that, and then that'll keep you in prayer. That'll keep you in fear. Like, shit, I don't want to go back to the world. You know, that'll keep you fucking going in itself. So the brother Matt, you made a good point. You got to acknowledge the wretchedness. And that'll put a certain spirit of fear in you because of the faith you have in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So his strength, so his strength can be shown in us, man. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I not as one that beateth air, and that takes faith. And that's part of the armors. He said when the battle, the condition of the battle, you gotta have faith. That's that shield that stops all the fiery darts, man. Really believe in this thing. And what comes with faith is fear. You can't say that enough. Fear, because fear is a hell of a motivator. You have faith in the Lord and the salvation, you gotta have faith that he's coming to destroy this place as well, man. But I keep under my body and bring it unto subjection. It's like, I'm read that over. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. So there you go, man. That's the battle, man. The flesh is weak, all right. The spirit is willing, all right. So what is your mindset of? Where's your heart more into, the carnal or the spirit? If it's in the spirit, you're gonna fight to stay in the spirit. You're gonna do those things, man.
Yep. Hey, because that Ephesians that you had quoted, the 6th chapter, it says what, man? Having your loins therefore gird up, you know. And that was no, I think I'm mixing scriptures. It says having your mind girt with truth, man. You know, being what, man? You girded in your mind, man. You manning up in your head, knowing that you got to go through certain things. Look, this is I'm gonna read this first. This is 2 Corinthians 12:7. It says, "Unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure." So now Paul had a thorn. He had an ailment in his flesh, man. But hey, we all got that thorn in the flesh. And guess what it is? This flesh, you know? So we all got to battle this motherfucker, man. It says, verse 8, "For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me." Verse 9, "And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Yahushua may rest upon me." And that's why it is written that we have this knowledge in earthen vessels, man, that the glory may be of Yahweh Ba'Sham Yahushua and not of us. So when we don't feel like doing certain things, that shows the strength, that shows the power of Yahushua within us that's willing us to do these things, man. You know, because why? Because we think of these precepts, man. This is Proverbs 10 and verse 4. It says, "He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich," man. So we want to be rich in the spirit. You know, the Lord said, what, man? I know thy poverty, but thou art rich. How are we rich? We're rich in faith. How do you gain faith? By searching these scriptures, by putting these lessons together, man. You know, by studying, by praying, by doing the work, you know, all of the above. This is Proverbs 12 and 24. It says, "The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute," man. You know, in the book of Sirach, it speaks about what? That a slothful man shall be compared to a dunghill, man. So you don't want to be looked as a piece of shit. The eyes of the Yahweh Ba'Sham Yahushua gonna be looking at you as a filthy stone, man. He gonna be looking at you as a pile of shit, you know? So that's understanding the wretchedness that you is, man. Like, man, you know, hey, the Lord can't even behold us in this state that we in. The only way he's looking at us is through Yahushua, man. So we got to have that same mindset of Yahushua. He said, what? My meat is to do the will of him that sent me and to finish it, man. Know ye not that I must be about my Father's business? So even though we don't feel like doing certain shit in the flesh, hey, we got to do it, man. You know, that's all a condition of the battle. That's a part of it, you know. That shows that you love Yahweh Ba'Sham Yahushua, man. This is Proverbs 20 and 5. It says, "Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out." So it's certain times where you don't feel the spirit on you. Like, it's just be like, man, like, you know, you just feel out of it, man. But you got to push through that, man. You got to wheel through that, man. You got to draw that out. You know, that water is this knowledge. That water is what? You know, this spirit, man. So you got to push through it at certain times where, hey, you got to battle to get in the spirit, man. Just like how Jacob wrestled that angel, the same way we wrestle in wisdom, man. It tell you in Sirach, the last chapter, that he had wrestled wisdom. So you got to wrestle with this thing, you know. And it's a beautiful thing that we got brothers within other brothers within his faith. That's why Ecclesiastes says 2 is better than 1. How can one get heat alone, man? Just
keep each other on fire.
This is Hebrews 10 and 22. It says, "Let us draw near with a true heart and full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water." And guess what? We got to continually be washed, man. you know? So how do we do that? Meaning we got to continually delve into this word, because this word is the water. It says,
can you read that verse over?
It's Hebrews 10:22. It says, let us draw near with a true heart and full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water. It says, let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promised. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works. You know,
and man, just real quick, just on that word profession, man, that's to speak out, man.
Yep.
So that's the faith. We got this work to do. That's how to provoke others to good works. By doing the works, man. You do the works, and hell, it should come up that you should be doing the works. That should provoke them and prick them to say, damn, I ain't doing the works. Let me do it. You know? Being that example to the flock, man.
Preferring your brother.
That's right. And that word prefer means to show the lead, or to lead before, to go before.
To lead by example.
Which that's just going to lead by example, right? To show the way, you know, to prefer, to go before. It was more of that, right?
Yeah. Last verse. Verse 25, it says, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as ye see the day approaching, man. So the more and more we see these things popping off, man, you know, hey, the more and more we should be getting hot in the spirit. We should will ourselves to do more things toward the spirit, man. Like it says in the book of 2 Corinthians, the 9th chapter, man, he that soweth to him sparingly shall reap sparingly, but he that soweth bountifully shall reap bountifully, man. You know, and actually doing it in sincerity. When the spirit moves you to do something, do it in sincerity and truth, man. You know, don't just doing it. Oh, the apostles say do 3 videos a week. So the Lord said, shalom. No, man, actually do it in truth and sincerity, man. Actually have that fire, that zeal, that passion in order to push these words out, man.
Yeah.
It says that I have not studied for myself only, but for all those that seek learning.
I mean, if you in a battle and you don't want to win the battle and you just fighting, you ain't gonna fucking win. Win the fucking battle. So you gotta want to win the battle, man.
Yeah, like we read earlier, it says he that runneth all.
Exactly.
That's like Usain Bolt, man. He training all year round to come in 3rd place. You know what I'm saying? No, man.
You gotta want it. Shit, it's that simple. Hey, this is Sirach 51:18. For I purpose to do after her, and earnestly I follow that which is good. So shall I not be confounded. He said earnestly, man. All right, so you really got to put effort into it, man. My soul hath wrestled with her, and in my doings I was exact. I stretched forth my hands to the heaven above, and bewailed my ignorance of her. I directed my soul unto her, and I found her in pureness. I have had my heart joined with her from the beginning. Therefore shall I not be forsaken. So you got to wrestle with it, man. You got to. That's a struggle because you got to want it that bad. It's trying to get loose. Picture like that, it's trying to get loose. That's what's going on with the angel and Jacob. The angel was finna dip. Jacob's like, you ain't going till I get my blessing. That's what we're doing. Because his flesh, it causes what is the wisdom is always trying to get loose. We fighting holding on so it can't get loose. We putting different holds and locks, the tightest one we can get so we can keep hold on it, man. All right.
This is Proverbs 19:15. It says, slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger, man. So you don't want to go back into that madness, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So when you let this flesh overcome you, man, you just bullshitting around where the Lord said what? It shall be taken away, even that he hath. Roughly paraphrasing, man. You know? So you don't want to be, you don't want what you got to be taken away from you, man. You don't want what you got to leave you, you know? So you got to wrestle with it, man. You got to put in that effort. You got to put in that diligence, you know, even when the flesh don't want to. Your spirit shall overrule it. Because back in that 1 Corinthians 9, Paul said, what?
Did you already read it? Oh,
I don't think.
No, Cole just finna say, I got the other part to it now. I just go ahead.
No, because he said, I put under my body and I bring it under subjection. It's the same 1 Corinthians 9, you know?
Yeah, I read that part. I didn't realize to just that moment you said 1 Corinthians 9. They both connected because I got this. This 1 Corinthians 9. Damn, this is crazy. This is verse 1 Corinthians 9:16. For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of, All right. For necessity is laid upon me. Necessity is laid upon me. Why? Woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel. Hey, if we don't do this, we get destroyed, man. We gotta. For if I do this thing willingly, so if we don't do this, we get destroyed. That's one. So you gotta fucking do it. That alone should make you want to fucking do it, right? Then he says, for if I do this thing willingly, I have a reward. So this thing is willing. We want to do this. We want to see the elect be awakened, man. We want to be part of building up the breach. All right, closing the gap.
Want to be called the repairer of the breach, like it says in Isaiah the 58th chapter, man.
Man.
That's a heavy honor, man. You know, of building up our nation, man. You know, standing firm, standing so stiffly for the name of Yahweh Shai. You know?
Right. We want to edify the body. That's the reward. Because in fact, I'm gonna keep reading because it's gonna tell you that's the reward, man. All right. But if against my will, a dispensation of the gospel is committed unto me. So we gotta do it anyway. We're commanded to do it.
You're gonna do it regardless. You know, the elect, you know.
What is my reward then? Hey, and guess what? It's the dispensation is upon everybody that's in this now. The elect is gonna do it for certain. Like it's really a dispensation, but even you other motherfucker, you know, the fault they were required to do this too, but because they fell out, destruction, woe unto them, man. They threw they offers aside, you know, because we can't boast. When we do what's right, it is through the Spirit of Yahweh Shai, man. But you just want it. You gotta want it. I'm gonna keep going. Salakia. What is my reward then? Verily, that when I preach the gospel, I may make the gospel of Mashiach without charge, that I abuse not my power in the gospel. So we're not doing this for monetary gain. We're not doing this for our own belly or glory. For though I be free from all men, yet have I made myself servant unto all, that I might gain the more. That's the reward. Gaining the more. For Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Building up the breach, man. This is honorable. Standing for Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, like Acts and Isaiah, the 6th chapter.
Yeah, because the Lord said what, man? He said the Son of Man didn't come to be ministered unto, but to minister. So we came to do this work, man. We following after the same suit as our master, as Yahweh Shai. The servant is not greater than the master, man. You know? So we're going to follow after the same suit, man. We didn't come to be ministered unto, we came to minister, meaning what? We came to do this work. You know? The Lord gave a parable and said what? He went out and he seen men idle. So he made a deal with them for a penny. You know, go out there and work in the vineyard, man. That's what we got to do, man. You know? There's times where brothers got their carnal jobs where, hey, brother don't feel like taking his ass to work. But guess what he do? He get his ass up and will himself to go to work. Why? Because he know he got to pay those bills. He know he got to get that check at the end of the week to sustain himself and his family. Well, it's the same thing in his faith, man. You know, we got to will ourselves in order to do this, hey, because we know we got to sustain ourselves and our family, man. As it says in Wisdom of Solomon, man, it wasn't the nourishing of fruits or anything that preserved us. It was the word of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai that preserved us, man. You know? So the spirit of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai allowed you to have that job to feed your family, have a roof over your head, have clothes on your back and food on your table. You know, this is the first priority, man. Guys will will themselves to do all kind of bullshit, man. So why not will yourself to do spiritual things? You know? Shit, I'm gonna be honest, man. Shit, we was battling, man. I didn't want to do this. I'm like, man, you know, brother had called the phone that spaced it out a little bit more, 5-7 minutes. So I'm sitting here like, man, all right. Now I'm getting tired. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do it. But it's all through the spirit, man. You know, these lessons must needs come out, man. You know?
God,
this Amos 3:8, because ultimately this Amos 3:8.
Bro, when you had called for earlier, and I was like, the spirit gonna still have it come out before the whole lesson started, something separate. I was like, it's still gonna come out during the lesson.
It says, the lion hath roared, who will not fear? The Lord power hath spoken, who can but prophesy, man? You know? So the Lord gave the word, man. Hey, shit. Hey, we can't do nothing else but prophesy, man. You know? Even if you don't want to do it, hey, what happened with Jonah? Jonah didn't want to go prophesy in Nineveh, and what happened? You know, he got his ass swallowed up, and hey, he still wouldn't prophesy. Well, it's the same thing that the Spirit is doing with us, man. You would feel like, man, I ain't doing that. Hey, the Lord will put you in a situation where now your ass gotta do it, man. You know, ain't if the water how about Sham Yahushai. Yeah, because it's all to our betterment, man. That shows the will and the power that he has within us to work in us to do these things, you know.
All right, so with that, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, and salutations, you brothers doing this thing in sincerity and truth and with charity. Shalom.
Shalom.
Baba Ball.